Yes, it said I done had enough. Working my butt too hard. Hello, everybody. It's your girl, Frugal Mama. And guess what time it is? It is time for the real deal hour lunch with the ladies. You already know how we do it. We come through every Friday, we rotate channels, and we talk about whatever is clever. So let's make it do what it do. All
That's
right,
right.
today's topic is child support.
Uh-oh.
Child support. Yes, yes.
Ooh,
It's a
I
hot
got some.
topic, hot button topic,
Oh, girl, I
but it
got a
needs
good
to
one
be
for that one.
yeah, it needs to be talked about. Hey, Ro. Hey, fishing frustrations. How you doing? All right. We wait on the our other panelists to join us. How is your day going so far?
Who, mine?
Yes.
Girl, it's good. I'm just trying to hurry and get out this training class. I hate
Mm-hmm.
training, especially when I've already done it. And then, you always have one person in the training class that has to ask 500 questions.
Question.
And
Mm-hmm.
you like, please, will you just hush? But
Right.
honestly, I'm having a good day.
I feel you.
Hey,
I
girl.
feel you. Hey, one busy mama up in the building.
What, she
Yes,
got her
I've
hair
been
pulled
wanting
Con-
to talk
down?
about this topic for a minute. Child support.
Girl,
Congratulations.
Thank you, and
and it,
congratulations to the real deal, Shonda Davis, meeting that, getting that 1K.
thank
Woo!
Oh,
see?
Yes, we on the road.
Yeah.
So if you listening or you watching this on the replay, go ahead and check out the real deal with Shonda Davis. Just play them videos, run that beautiful bean footage, okay? I'm telling you, you're going to enjoy the content. It is lit, okay? Whole family lit. I like it. I love it. Okay.
Oh, thank you,
Oh
honey.
yeah, and check out Bethany's latest video. That Fat Fit Fun box
off
was.
the
I
chain.
was like, is it too late for me to
Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.
That's
No, I'm kidding.
right. You go ahead and share this out as well.
Yeah,
Um,
I shared it out already. That FabFitFun was like a redeemer. Like I know a lot of people are on the fence about FabFitFun sometimes. I'm about to look up because I know I've had them for years. I want to say over 5, 6, maybe 7 years. Um, for $49 a month, that was a steal. Just those
mhm.
two pants. So if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert.
I know, right? I was like, okay, where do I sign up? But anyway, so let's and just because I got my monetization don't mean that you don't have to come through, hit them playlists, whatever. That just means come through more often, you know?
Yes.
Kings.
Keep it
Hey King.
rolling. Hey, King.
All right, so let's talk about I want to talk about child support. I'm not sure if oh my goodness, Nicole is joining today. Bailey Squad. Everybody getting their kids in school and doing all that. So we already know how that goes. So I want to talk about child support. I believe in supporting your children mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. Let's get that. Let's get that understood. Hold on one second, y'all got a call.
Yeah, I want to speak on that real quick. So while Frugal Mama has a call, I'm gonna say something here. So I have two older kids that are adults, and those are by my husband. Then I have a younger child that I have by somebody totally different. And so he told my son that I'm supposed to give him his child support when it comes in. And I was like, so when his son when my son asked him to do anything else for him, he's like, I ain't gotta do nothing else. Shit, your mama get child support. First of all, you barely pay the child support. Secondly, how you gonna tell a 14-year-old kid that I'm supposed to hand him over a child support check? Are you retarded? Are you retarded? Do you do drugs? First of all, that check goes towards whatever this boy needs. So it's just some ignorant people in the world. I might have been drinking when I got a baby with him or something. I don't know what happened, but it happened, and he's an idiot. And I'm like, how dare you think that just because you pay a little bit of child support that you don't have to do anything additional for that child? I take this child every day, all day. Everything that I do consists of this kid. I feed him, I clothe him, I take him where he needs to be, pick him up from school, take him to the doctor, you name it. You giving that little piece of
Yeah.
money that you give every week that you barely give, boy, I will slap you.
I agree. I do think there's a huge, you're on mute, Frugal. I think there's a huge misconception with the idea of child support. We don't just hand over regular checks to children. So why would we hand over money that's allocated to support that child? That should go towards the rent, the groceries, the, after school programs, sports, whatever. Additionally, it costs way more than whatever the government, court, whatever told you to pay to support a child or to raise a child. So all the other stuff that they have to have covered, who do you think is paying for that?
Yeah, because he came to me and he was like, Mama, my daddy said that you're supposed to give me that check. I'm like, if you don't get out of my face right now, how do you think you got them Jordans on? How do you think you got that those all this expensive stuff that you wear? But that little check, that ain't nothing. That's gone in a few minutes. I can put some gas in the car and that's over with. It's like, how dare you? And then you don't want to do anything additional for your kids. I mean, I don't get these men. These men have these kids and then they don't want to accept responsibility for them. And it's ridiculous.
And it's not just men. Let's get that clear, because there's some women that do the exact same thing. They expect because it's a man that has custody of the child, that they don't have to pay child support. Because it goes both ways. One of my ex-fiancés, he had custody of his daughter, and the mother paid nothing, which was fine, because he was like, well, I don't have to deal with her, and he said, look, I created this life. I'll take care of her, like do her hair, do everything for the child. And that's my main thing, King, is unreliable. My thing is, if two individuals create a life together and you both can come to an agreement without the court system, ideally that would be the way. Because for me, it boils down to, let's say the child support is $100 a week. Sometimes the child doesn't get that $100, especially if some kind of way the individual lost their job and they're behind. There's interest, there's fees, there are penalties, and it just can become a situation where that person cannot dig themselves out of that hole. And for me, I felt like I created the life. And so if they do nothing, I am 100% responsible for that life. I mean, it would be nice for assistance, but we cannot depend on that. For me, I know that once, like, some people cannot do that. Some people, if you get assistance for a minute from the government because you need it, and sometimes it's needed, they require that you supply the name of that parent, and it automatically goes. And I think that's
exactly
absolutely
what happened. I didn't take him up. I go down and say, hey, I'm going to
And then he probably felt some kind of way about you, and you ain't had nothing to do with. Hey, got a super chat.
You know, I tried
super chat.
Oh snap. But yeah, I tried to explain that to him. Like, look, I didn't take you up. When I got assistance back, he's 14 now. That was years and years ago. They took you up. You know, and I told him to check into it. He was like, well, he was telling my son, well, tell your mama, take me out child support, then I'll do for you. I was like, no, I'm not taking you
That's
out.
not an if and or type of situation. And first of all, because I know about the child support system thing. It ain't but pennies. Okay. Also, when you sign up for other assistance, woo, super chat. When you sign up for any assistance, they pretty much tell you, like Frugal was saying, like you got to hand over information. They're just not going to give you assistance right away, even though we all know that the system is built backwards. And so you have to give out in order to get anything out of the system. So even if, like, for me, I signed up for health insurance, they told me right away, you got to give up the name, where they live, like basically everything. So that's why I think a lot of people, say that you ratted them out, you put them up, whatever. But otherwise, a lot of these single mothers are not getting anything,
Yeah. Some parents shooting their kids like a paycheck. And that's the whole thing. And I said, like, but I think like this. Let's say if I were with Jamie Foxx and he was a millionaire, he is a millionaire. A lot of people say, well, the child should live at the standard of the person who makes the most money. Okay, well, if you expect that, let them live with that person that's making that money.
Exactly.
Okay.
Why are we going above standard?
Yeah.
Like, I understand maybe the mom was comfortable with that type of living because she was married to Jamie Foxx or whatever, had a baby. That doesn't guarantee you anything.
Right.
You should be able to provide for that child likewise. And not just be sitting back collecting $12,000 a week.
Yeah. I agree. And but like, say for instance, there are instances where, let's say for instance, I'm, Jamie Foxx, y'all know I love him. Let's say I see his grind. I want to have his level of life, so I need to have that same hustle. Okay. And I say that should be inspiring motivation for us to, say, okay, we brought this life in, so let's do what we can to give that child the best life. And it don't matter how much money is given, if that child is not allowed to see that parent, and that's different from they don't do it, allowed to see that parent, that's wrong. I don't care if they're given nothing. If they want to be in that child's life and it doesn't, they're not, a negative influence, they able to keep that child safe while they're in that presence, allow that parent to be in that child's life. But all that back and forth saying, oh, what you do at your daddy house, what you do at your mama house,
right?
How much money you get from it? If they give you that money, no, that's not a child's place.
The other thing,
they shouldn't even be worried about that.
Right. You're creating this negative energy just by even asking them, what'd you do over there? Like, just let them go, enjoy their time, not enjoy the time, whatever. I've never asked, and I feel like that's just silly because you're already playing games between the kids. And there should never be like this exchange, like, oh, I meet you Friday 6 p.m. and you hand me the check and I hand you the kid. Like, really?
Yeah, really.
But there are some people, like you said, there are some people that they be walking around flashy as anything. And their kid walking around with, well, Payless ain't around anymore, but Payless shoes and looking rough, while the mom is, or the dad, whatever, is flashing.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
Yeah, those people.
But yeah, people need to get that out their head that the child, all that money goes to the child because, like Shonda said, like I'm a pay my, I gotta pay, say for me, I gotta pay my rent, electric, all that, regardless, right? But there are things I wouldn't have to run up and down to that school. I wouldn't have to run and get that child clothes, that child this, that child that, other. So guess what? Yeah, that support. I allocate it accordingly to how I feel like it's supposed to be allocated. Don't question me about that. I would not be. Oh, that would make me hot. But I think the more, like how things go is like if it's amicable, it's amicable breakup or amicable it will never together. It's a lot easier. But when it's some kind of contention with the parents, it usually creates more drama when it comes to supporting the children or the child out of the relationship. But I do believe that these child support systems, especially here in Texas, could be revamped. Because, like, for instance, I had a friend, and he said his child support was like $200 a month or something like that, and the child got $119. It was something like, I was like, well, where is the rest of the money going? And they said that the state has fees. If they're behind, they have interest. Why isn't that interest going to the child? How is that helping the government? I don't know why that interest would go to the government.
Again, it's a system that is not built to actually benefit the child. So on the other spectrum, I know only in Connecticut, but I feel if I have to work 2 jobs to provide, why should the dad be able to just pick I know, and not financially provide? There's that too. But what I was going to say is, like, whoever makes the most money is usually the one that gets penalized. So for my situation, I was the one making 3 times as much as that person. So they had to come up with scraps in comparison to what I was dishing out, because I was dishing out the lifestyle that I wanted to give to my kid. A nice place to live in a nice neighborhood and whatnot. And when they broke it down, it was so unfair. It wasn't, this 50-50 mentality does not exist. There's no such thing. And when it broke down into numbers, I was 70% responsible and he was 30% responsible. And he just wasn't, he was, aggravated by the whole thing. It was like, why am I paying for this? Because you want to live here, because you want to have this. And I'm like, this is what I'm giving to this child. You should be happy that I'm giving him this and I'm not living in the project somewhere. Or, I was penalized because I was a nurse at the time. So they're like, well, whoever makes the most money got to provide the most. And meanwhile, that other person doesn't have to live to the same sort of standards, like they pick up the kid, and then come back in an hour and that's your quality time.
Just like that. Somebody just said that. Why should I have to work 2 jobs? And they just, you know what? You shouldn't. But at the end of the day, if they cannot, then the child will end up resenting the custodial parent for not allowing the other parent to have access. So you end up knowing as a child, when you see it, you see what that custodial parent is doing versus what the other parent is doing. They will know. So you don't even have to worry about it, because that's gonna all boil down. That's gonna all what's the name in the wash? That's gonna come out in the wash.
And I was about to say that too. My child, like I said, my youngest is 14. The other 2 are adults, and when they were kids, I didn't even know what size shoes they were because they daddy took care of everything. He done everything for those boys. I didn't have to ask him for nothing. He came and got his kids. Eventually we got back together. It was after I had the other boy. And this, I'm just not used to this type of stuff. And then he doesn't, my son, and then he's had, let me see, my son's 14. He had another child, like me and another girl were pregnant at the same time. And now he's had like 5 kids. And my baby will text his daddy, hey, Dad, can I come over? Oh, not this weekend, son. Or he'll text him again, and then he'll get mad. Look, stop freaking texting me. I'll let you know when you can come over. Like, he don't spend time with them. And then my son loves the ground this boy walks on, but he's starting to see him for what he is. You know, he's starting to see. I don't have to say, well, you know, your dad's a bitch or whatever, but you know, he's starting to see it for himself. First of all, you mad about child support. You don't spend time with the kid. Like, what are you doing? None of the kids. And I really hate that, but you know, that's where I come in, and my husband comes in, and then he's gonna be mad because he's gonna be looking at somebody else like his daddy. And that's your fault.
Your fault.
That's your fault. And I thought, my God, how in the world do these people, I mean, when you have these kids, they're your responsibility, nobody else's.
That's right. Yeah.
You know.
And
go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, and for me, like I have 2 kids, 2 different fathers, can conceptualize different ways. For those that don't know, and my oldest son's father, active. Now, neither one of them on child support. My oldest son's father is active. Like, he'll pick him up on the week. Not just his son either. He'll take my youngest son, who isn't his. Like, I was blessed, and we were never in a relationship.
That's awesome.
And yeah, that was amazing. He's amazing. And like, what he contributes financially is a drop in the bucket, but what he contributes emotionally and developmentally with both of them is priceless to me. My youngest son's father has chosen not to be a part of his life right now, and it's so hard to explain to a young child where the absent parent is. And I just say, hey, he is getting his life together right now, and we just gonna pray that all is well, and that eventually he and his family, because neither are involved, will eventually be active. And if not, we're gonna be okay. It was a hard decision. It was a hard decision to even say that part, because
I know that's generous.
Yeah, because it's like I had to put myself in my son's shoes. Like, he is a part of his father. And if I say anything negative about his father, that is putting a negative impression about himself in his mind. You know what I'm saying? I clearly I found something, spectacular about him to have a child with him, but I have to protect his image of his father. Okay, I say here people go through a lot, and that's all I can say is we're gonna pray for him. We're gonna pray for him, pray for grandfather, cousin, sister, all of them, because all of them are accountable. Not one single one of y'all can say, hey, we know we got a grandson.
Well, I will say that ignorance is bliss, and a lot of people live by that motto, and it ain't at the end of the day, because when you dying, and all that stuff comes right to the forefront.
Yeah.
And it eats you alive. So that's why I always tell people, good for you. Keep doing what you do. I'm gonna live a clear conscience. Now, going back to what you said, I never really talked junk about my first son's father. I used to have great conversation with him and tell him, you'll see ultimately who the people around you are, and if they're for you or if they're not for you, and who they really are. I don't have to tell you. You'll see. Because I think what somebody was saying in the chat, maybe 12 or Hilda, was like, he always looked at his dad as being, perfect and the best and whatever. And in the back of my head, I'm like, oh God, if you only knew. But I had to keep it together, But I just tried to I hope you had a good time at your dad's house or whatever. And I would tell him the same thing. When you go to your dad's house, you don't need to discuss what you do here. Just go have a good time. Don't feel like you have to say things, you know. And I always felt that underlying, like his dad was telling him things or saying maybe bad things about me, but there's nothing I could do about it. You know, that's out of my control. But I wish sometimes that guys in general, because that's mostly what we're talking about, would take things to the side and just be like, your mom's a great person. We're not here to be together. Maybe we didn't get along or whatever, but I'm here with you and I'm spending this time with you. And I think that just takes a lot more courage from people to just, you know, put that aside. You know, the shit didn't work out, but you don't have to be that hostile and angry and, you know, taking it out on that kid. But back to the child support thing, the whole thing needs to be revamped because 12 mentioned how they combine your income and then come up with this process of who's responsible for how much. And in the real world, you already know the person that the kid lives with is paying out of pocket way more in general. And not that money can buy everything or the quality of the time or going to get a haircut or going to pick out prom dresses or whatever the case may be. Some people are just stuck, man. They just stuck on stupid instead of focusing their energy on what's actually best for the kid.
That's right. And that should be the main focus is what's best.
And you know what? That's another thing too, because in that situation that I was speaking of, so because me and the son didn't work out because, you know, they were allowing him to be crazy, you know, and it was always my fault or whatever. But listen, I've never lied or been fake about nothing. I always said what I did and didn't do. But he really, you know, my uncle used to say the funniest thing, you gotta research these people before you make babies with them. He just crazy, you know. He would always say, you can't mix blood with everybody.
We all did that. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay.
Yeah. So because they don't have deal with me, they don't really deal with him. Like none of the grandparents on that side, his aunts, uncles, none of them really too much deal with my boy because, you know, I'm not letting them talk to me any kind of way. I'm not gonna let them treat me any kind of way. So because they can't run over me and tell me what to do and all this and that, they don't fool with my son. I can't tell you the last time they've ever called him and said happy birthday, given him anything for his birthday, holidays, nothing.
That's heartbreaking.
That is heartbreaking. And that resonates.
That's so wrong.
And then what ends up happens is we end up overcompensating and the child becomes this maybe when they come a little bratty at times. But
so I was gonna, you know, my older two boys tell me, said, Mama, you gonna make him be soft if you don't chill. And I'm like, what you mean? They was like, because you treat him like he what did they tell me? They said I treat him like something, they said. And I'm like, and I do overcompensate because I know that his father is not present like he should be. So I go above and beyond to make him feel loved, and that could be, you know, detrimental too. So, you know, it's just hard. It's hard raising these kids.
And a lot of people say, oh, single, and then say, you know, try to blame single parents on everything that's wrong with the world. And there are times when that just is, you know. And I think that a lot of people need to just step back and look, because it's some people that have two parents and still don't have the
get it together
access in the stuff that in the love and the compassion and the support that a single parent gives their child. So ideally it will be all coupled up, booed up, whatever the case may be, and sharing in the responsibilities. However,
sometimes it just don't work that way.
Yeah, it just don't always work like that. You say, oh, really, 12? Like, if you don't feel like it is a safe situation, you have to make that decision. But you know, I think like this though. Sometimes you think let's take it this. Okay, so let's say let's say we make the same amount of money, and the child lives with the father. I'm gonna say the child lives with the father. My perspective would be take care of that child. Take care of that child like if as if I did not exist, and then whatever excess, go ahead and save that for that child. Or because my whole thing is if I was on child support and I still had to pay everything in my own household, that would be difficult. I feel like that would be difficult. But it would be my responsibility. Okay. Oh, thank you, Nana. Thank you. And hi, Wendy. Hello, everybody in chat. We just so become so engulfed in the conversation. Sorry, not welcoming everybody in, but we appreciate you being here. And I would say if we like say for instance, because most of the people that I know personally are in middle class or lower middle class or economically struggling, and so I'm doing well, thank you. And so in order to maintain my own house and then have to support a child that's out, because if we were all in the same household, our incomes would be combined, we would be able to pool resources. So I can imagine if I were not the custodial parent, that it could be hard to pay support for my child. Hard, but not difficult. But what you can give is your time. That's one thing you can give. So don't become consumed or whatever. And in between, like that. And just imagine if you had to pay child support right now, and you're already struggling. The impact that would have on you financially, and don't even mention if you have another child that you do have custodial parentingship of. So that, I mean, and then so you get behind. Don't get behind, because then it's gonna get you just get so much in a hole. So I feel like I said, if two parents can work together without getting the court system, and a judge probably would say, don't do this, because you will never be able to prove all. If it ends up in court, you have to be able to prove everything that you have done for that child. But if you have two people who can do this without the court system, do it, because that is, once they get in your life,
right, it's a mess you don't want to get into. But then
like if you get locked up, let's say the person gets locked up, they still running that support the whole time they locked up. I don't understand that. What's the point of putting them in jail? That ain't gonna help them. And then and then if they got the work programs in jail, that money should be going to that. But guess what? It's probably going back to interest, and they get interest before a lot of places get interest before they even send the money to the child. I don't understand that. But I'm Miller Gamer. I love it. Thank you.
I mean, there aren't that many. There aren't that many Miller Gaiman. That's why this whole stigma exists. That's why this whole court system exists, because if people were doing what they were supposed to be doing, they wouldn't even have the time to create all these rules and processes. And we pay for this, remember? We pay for this. Tax money and everything. We pay for these judges and all this to exist. So the thing is to do the right thing.
First of all, we got to carefully analyze those in which we choose to have children with.
Right.
And
don't be laying up with everybody.
Yeah. They're going into the wages, and they could come up. Yeah, I don't have time for that either. It's just sad, because
so how do y'all feel?
At the end of the day, the child suffers, but the child could. The child definitely suffers. And but I just wish that if it both men, yes, and two when I put
Yep. I think it's Stasia. So let me explain something, because she's saying that her baby daddy complained about gymnastics, dance, blah 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 blah. So let me explain a little bit of my story. So before I could even ask for the child support money, it was already thrown in my face. He was saying, "Oh, I'm not paying for that after school program that you put him in. I'm not paying for this, and I'm not paying for that, and I'm not." I'm like, in college, he threw that out there. Kid is 4. I'm like, what? You're not paying for college? Dang. So your interest is not even for the kid. So they can't enjoy their life because you don't want to pay.
Right. Okay. And the simple fact of the matter is those activities enrich the life of the child. Oh, that means it's just so silly. And yeah, I like that. Man. Yeah, and that's a trip too, because they'll care for the women or the person and the other children that they're in a relationship with now, but they won't take care of their own. And I'm telling you, it's men and women do the same thing. So don't think it's exclusive to men. I'm telling you, we have to have a personal, accountability, because if a woman says, yep,
that too.
You know what? That's true. Too. But if that person has already started providing support, the court system can make them continue to pay support in some cases.
Also, if you're married and then you go sleep with somebody else, have a baby, but you're still married, legally, the person that you're married with is responsible for that child.
Unless you allow them to sign over their parental rights. I don't know if it's like that in every state, but
yeah, I don't know all the states.
And yeah, and like I said, that whole jail thing, if they're in jail for not paying, especially for not paying child support, why does the child support not stop? Or why does the child support system, I don't know the solution, but I just don't think that helps. Now they got a criminal record. So when they go to get a job, they barely get a piece of a job. And then also, like some people will also, I'm saying people because I know for a fact that it's men and women doing this stuff. They will get a job that's under the table, so they don't have to report this income.
Yep. I heard that too.
And then, or they will say they'll get and I know this because somebody that's on child support told me that if you have 2 jobs, let's say for instance you have 2 jobs, the job that you report first is your primary job. So it don't matter if you make more money on your second job, they're going to go by that first job that you went into. In some cases, in some states, that's messed up to me. Like,
but isn't the whole system messed up? Really?
It really, I mean,
because why are we paying interest? Why are we paying fees? Why are we paying, if it was really because they make you feel like if you go in there, don't you want to do the best for the child? Meanwhile, they cutting off a percentage here and cutting off a percentage there, instead of making sure that the child gets what they need. What happened?
Okay, wait a minute. Oh, hold on. Let me go back up here. Okay, look out. Was married.
Oh, yeah, they'll take your taxes, too.
And your tax. Yep, that, too.
Locke, are you in Mass? Did he say he was from Massachusetts?
I think he's in Chicago.
Oh, okay. Springfield, I guess.
What? Okay, that's I mean, yeah, that's crazy. And I was listening to what's his name?
Oh yeah, he's in Chicago.
Somebody. Oh, basically they child turned 18 and they were still taking money out of his check. So then he had to end up giving him a refund for that money. So I wonder I'm pretty sure they came back from. They had to get the money back from.
Did they tax that?
Oh, probably not. Probably not. Y'all know I'm probably not getting monetized for this. Y'all go ahead and hit that super chat, but because y'all know this is a controversial topic. Hit that super chat. Go hit that cash out. But no, seriously, y'all. This is something that really just breaks my heart because I don't know. I don't know the answer. And we would love for everybody to have this happy, blissful relationship, and those who can take care of their kids would, but it don't always end up like that. But I think that time, I would
So
give
how
in. And now you know what? But like that, if a man don't want to spend like help financially take care of their child, do we really want them spending time with that person? What says something about their personal character? Be like, I don't even know if I want my child around you.
Okay, so
But it is still their parent.
we have to think about all the mental, emotional stuff that's behind all
Thanks,
that.
Miller. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. We gotta
Got a troll.
boop up.
Mm.
So you have to think about all the mental stress that goes behind all those little comments and things that get said behind your back is way worse than,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want that person around my kid.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay, Ty, you talking about good.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. I don't know why people seem to have known from Chicago.
That was a
I say
delay.
I can't get them out of there because I'm on my phone. I'm not on the computer. So how do y'all feel about when a man marries another woman and they combine their income and base child support off of that sometimes?
Yo, what?
No, I'm not about that.
Wait a minute, what you say, Shonda? I missed it. Oh, he back in another one. Thank you for the views, sir. Appreciate
I said
you.
a lot of times, when people are married.
I gotta read that comment again. Hold on. And on the dad, yep.
Can y'all hear me?
We didn't hear you. But this is the whole thing. You pin that child on somebody else, and they never know. What if something happens to that child health wise, and they need a blood donation, or they need a transplant, a kidney or something, and you over here playing games? Don't play with people like.
Who is this Sonic the Hedgehog, man?
Somebody that got way too much time on their hand. But thanks for coming through for the view. And it said, bottom line is you have scandalous women and men out there that makes it bad for everybody else. That's right. That is absolutely right. And I think just as we continue to take kids in as a village. Yeah, I got a super fan. Thanks. As we take take kids, if we consider kids as we need to support them as a village, because for those who have parents who choose not to support their child, they need the whole village. You hear me? They need the whole village. And I think that, we throw that around a lot. It takes a village to raise a kid, but where are these villages nowadays? Thank you, Janetti. Super chat, 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 super chat. Hey, I think she's gonna come back in because I think something happened to the sound. Hey, Felita's way. Hello. Hey, Christina. Hey, everybody. I'm so happy you all joined us. We are talking about child support. Like we said, it's not just a man thing or a woman thing. It's a child thing. Don't know hype, yeah. Don't know hype, yay. And oh my goodness. I appreciate moderators for helping me with this little situation, of course. But
They just keep coming.
yeah, if you know, if and let's go ahead and go with this. If you know that there is a single parent, a mother or a father, I mean, like, say something to that child, that person. Be like, hey, I'm gonna come over and help you fold clothes, or I'm gonna come over and help you. You know, for me, I don't leave my children with just anybody. But I'm very selective. But there are people. Just say, you know what, I'm gonna let you get a break so you can just go relax for a moment. It doesn't happen that often. And before I had kids, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't offer that to my single parent friends because I didn't realize we are doing well. I didn't realize that it was such a challenge. I'm gonna say raising kids, because my mama made it seem like it was easy. You know, she was great. You know.
No, that's awesome.
Yes.
I mean, I knew it was hard, and another thing, like you were saying, like before I had kids, I helped my cousin with hers. Like, she used to work 3 to 11, and then she would work sometimes 11 to 7, and I would take him, you know, like on the weekends or whatever. And then I had my own, and nobody helped me the same way that I was helping other people. You know, I did have some good friends that would be like, oh, well, one in particular that would, you know, like if I needed her to grab them from daycare, because they went to the same daycare, even though we were going in opposite directions, you know, once in a while, like, oh, I'm going to be late. Yeah, get it.
And you know what? I think I did do that. I volunteered with Big Brothers Big Sisters. I had my little sisters on the weekend, and her brothers and sisters. And she had her mom had eight kids at the time. She now has 12 kids. And so yeah, I ain't gonna just talk about it. I'm gonna be about it. If I'm saying let's do this, I really do mean it. And like my and there was some other situations I didn't even think about, because it happened so instinctively to help. It's instinctive for me to help in that way. But yeah. That's yeah. But Locke said, hey, there
isn't. Unfortunately, that mentality somehow went. Like, you could go to your aunts, your grandmothers, your whatever, and it would be cool after school or for the weekend. But now people just clock in time. They're like, oh no, I spent 15 minutes, or I had them for an hour. And there's some reportable people that like to
what's Stream Deck?
Just call you out. You need a Stream Deck, Fergal.
We're gonna have to figure out what that is now.
I know.
You know what? And I think because of predatory behavior, children being molested or whatever, and you're afraid to let them go with somebody. You know?
Yeah, as you should.
As you should. Be very careful.
Even the parents are sketchy.
Yeah, even parents are sketchy sometimes. So I understand the hesitation with especially asking for help. But one thing we got to realize too, and I had to realize this for myself, it is not weak to ask for help. I told my son's father, I said, hey, can you take the boys this weekend? Because I need to do X, Y, Z. And he was like, oh, okay. And I thought that it might be a burden, but it really wasn't.
And that's great. And kudos to him. For
yes.
Real.
Yes, he's a real MVP. And like I said, I'm not. I am a person who welcomes or who embraces, not accepts, embraces everyone. I don't care your religion, your nationality, your race, whatever. I embrace that, because what we seem to realize is that we are a lot more alike than we are different. Okay. It's like buttons. Oh yeah,
we both need that.
We do. I gotta get the mental note out there. I ain't gonna do no mental note. You know my mental notes be up out of there.
You know I got that.
Okay.
Write it down every doggone word.
Yes, yes. Okay, yeah. Um, so what was I saying?
We'll take a
Um,
class, Savage, anytime.
I know Sam be dropping them gems. I'm trying to tell you. I'm so happy that you all joined us today. And I know that this is a sticky topic, it's a very touchy topic, very sensitive topic, but I'm glad that we're able to unite and discuss it in a very productive and positive way. Not here to, well, just talk about it, but to offer some solutions, exactly. And I'm going to recap because we only have about 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
If you are a custodial parent, we, yes, yes, yes. You a custodial parent. Despite your how you may feel about the hot what's the topic again? Child support. Child support. The topic is child support. No matter how you feel about the individual, the other parent, if it is safe for your child to have a relationship with that other parent, please allow that child to have that relationship, because I'm telling you, like my father, my father was absolutely amazing. My parents were not together, and but he not only took care of me, but he helped with my siblings and welcome my cousins. Like we would all go to his house for the summer. We would all chill. Like it was absolutely amazing. And ladies, just because I mean, all men are not bad. There are some good men, so we can find some positive role models. Yes, yeah, real man, man. My daddy was a real MVP. We can find some positive. Hi, Mary. Find some positive role models for our children to be influenced by. Not necessarily leave them with these folks, because you have to have a level of trust, and you always want to have open dialogue with. We always want to have open dialogue with our children to make sure that they feel comfortable telling you anything. So if something do pop off, you able to handle it. Thank you. Yeah, we worked hard to get this channel monetized. I know that people help watch videos.
Woo!
And thank you, One Busy Mama, for helping me throughout the way, because I couldn't have did it without you. Like I probably would have still been on 200 subscribers. Hey Mo, how are you? But yes, please. We're well, thank you. But please, and I think it's important for us to vote for the judges in our local area. And then like a lot of people say, I don't vote for the president, I don't vote for this, that, and the other. But your local elections, your local elected officials are the ones who
determine your surroundings.
Yes, exactly. Okay, if you want to know why, we always get locked up, we doing this, that, and the third. Well, the judges are the ones who determine that. So, in order to make a change to the system, we have to get involved and stay involved.
Yeah,
if we don't feel like the child support system is adequate, or it should be what do you call it?
Yeah, revamped.
Right into the congressman, your council person, and express your thoughts. I not about child support, but about the my child not being able to go to pre-K, public pre-K. I feel like as a taxpayer, my child should be able to go to public pre-K. Even if I have to pay for it, they should be allowed, and that's not one of the issues. And they will listen to you, because you are a constituent elected official, and then that is their responsibility to address the issues of their
community. And if you just let it go, then they just getting paid to do nothing, basically. And so you can't really complain if you're not willing to do something about it as well. I mean, that's what they're supposedly there for. So And if you do nothing at all, like Frugal was saying, if you don't want to vote for the president or those major elections, do the local ones because those actually matter. And you don't have to know everybody on that paper. Take the time to Google them for 2 seconds and see where they're from and what they represent, maybe even where they went to school, what their background is. Because a lot of these judges, they get in there and they have zero experience. And they're making all the foundational judgments on other people's lives. So,
and then hey, and then if it boils down to it, you get involved, you become an elected official. Because I like sometimes all you need is so many signatures ballot.
Yep.
And yeah, that's true. 12. Don't say. And I had to catch myself with that. Because I was saying, don't be telling everybody my business what's going on over here. But you have to explain to them that without the context, the complete context, when you say things, it may be misconstrued. So before you go to school and say XYZ, think about the totality of what you may be saying, which is hard to explain to a young child, but it still needs to be said.
I mean,
because,
first
you may say, "Oh, I got a pop," but you didn't say that you was you almost electrocuted your doggone self. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so yeah, I popped your hand. No.
The other thing is some of these people, mandated reporters, they just be looking, oh, so you got what? Okay. And they don't even ask the rest of the story. So I always taught my kids, like, don't be saying all that stuff because those people they're waiting to hear something bad. So again, just go enjoy your time. Now, if they're doing something that you know is wrong, you need to come and tell me.
Yeah, and that's important to know. You know the difference between right and wrong. We have to teach the difference between right and wrong. And of course, that's relative. Depending on,
Yeah.
That got to be hard. That would have to be hard to be a mandated reporter. To make that.
I am too, technically, but if I'm on the floor, but I'm not on the floor, so.
So, what you say, what is mama?
I said I am too when I'm on the floor, working on the floor as a nurse. But obviously, some people just snooping.
Yeah, they do, and or they have, that's another thing that really ticks me off too, because some people will report somebody, and it's malicious. They maliciously report somebody, and once you get caught up in that system, oh, please, y'all, please don't do that. Make sure you know what's going on. You gotta, I believe in, like, you can't turn a blind eye, but don't do that maliciously.
Yeah, and don't be doing it unless you have like substance, like real substance, pictures, video.
Thank you, Smoke.
Substance, come on, because you don't know what goes on.
Our topic today was child support. And the only reason why I wanted to bring that up is because when we say child support, a lot of people automatically assume financial, but be there for that child. And if there is a child that you can be there for that isn't yours, be there for that child as well. But it's crazy because some out there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. 12. Hey, Smoke.
Yes, they do. They sure do, Janetti. And we gotta be protected. Don't bring no folks around your kids. It's like, oh, you met them last night, and then tomorrow they
right, and now they on the pickup list. No.
Yeah. Right.
No.
No.
I take that to heart too, because I had a few friends put me on the pickup list, me and vice versa. But I took that to heart. Like, wow, you really trust me with your kid, because I know it's crazy out there when you're a single mom and you don't have nobody. Like, there's no backup to the backup to the backup. So I was privileged to have that. Yeah.
So once again, our subject today was child support. I hope that you enjoyed this lunch with the ladies.
Congratulations.
Thank you all. Thank you all for your love and support.
Chats.
Thanks for the super chats. Oh, so remember,
Guys, if you guys have any other topics, maybe we'll probably post like a community board discussion, for topics, or you could leave it on this live when it's over. You could just refresh and leave a comment down below if you have something that you think is interesting to talk about as well. We do this every Friday. Next week is The Real Deal with Shonda Davis, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central Time. Fridays. Did I say that already? All right.
And if you fake reporting, if they out there fake reporting and people have to follow up that and they already stretched, how are they going to thoroughly investigate? That shows
there should be serious penalties for fake reporting.
All right, y'all. Don't forget, when I end the live, go back down in the comments below and tell us your thoughts. What are your thoughts about child support? What can we do to make things better, more equitable, more fair, more all of that? And look forward to more discussions, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all. Thanks, everybody.